Hi, you know what this is? It's an embroidery hoop, and we're gonna play with this tonight. So I got this fabric. I think I got it at Hobby Lobby probably last year, okay? But we're gonna use it tonight with this embroidery hoop and a little pennant banner from my shop, and make something that is not embroidery. Thank God, because I can't. I don't know what I'm doing with that. So come hang out with me and we will get started. Okay? You can comment the word jolly to get all the stuff to make this. And hi Stephanie, how are you, love? Okay, trying to get this thing to pin. Okay, so this is a 5x7 pennant banner, okay? And I'm just going to, I should have probably ironed this, but I didn't. So let me see if I can just heat this up real quick. So I'm gonna actually cut this down. Okay, so this is the transfer. Oh, well, it's upside down. That's the transfer we're gonna use tonight. Okay. Hi, Kimberly. How are you? Welcome. All right, so I'm gonna just trim this along the seams. Okay, I don't want the seams to show, but I want to make it as big as possible. And I am going to cut it straight across the bottom. It doesn't have to be perfect. We are going to try and fray this a little bit. Okay. I am. Hi, Brooke. How are you? Welcome. So you can comment jolly and get the link to get all the stuff that I'm using tonight. Luckily, my Facebook's working to go live. I have some friends that weren't able to do lives tonight because of something with Facebook going on. Okay, so I really would like for that to be hot enough for me to, let's see if I can, I'm going to try and fray this with my little tool here. I don't know how well this is going to work. I thought I had some other little scissors. Hold on, I do, right here. Hi, Kathy. Hey, Marie, how are you? Hi, Barb. Welcome, ladies. All right, so just kind of messing the ends. I don't want this to be a perfect cut on the edges. There's my heat press, hot and ready. Let's see if we can press this really quick. Get those wrinkles out of it, you know? Perfect. See, if my mom were watching right now, she would be so proud of me because I don't ever press anything. Hi, Lisa. How are you? Welcome. Okay. I don't buy clothes that need to be pressed. I'm bad whenever I sew. I hate pressing stuff. Y'all, I didn't even know if I had an iron. Whenever I started with chalk, I didn't have a heat press yet. And, all right, I needed to heat set a pillowcase that I made. So I made it, and then as an entire afterthought, I thought, I don't have an iron. I don't know where it's at. I did have one. To my surprise, I did have one. It was still in the box, in fact. Had never even been opened, because that is the kind of housekeeper I am. And, you know, my whole thought is, if you cannot survive a trip through the washing machine and dryer, then you don't deserve to survive in this house, okay? If you are a piece of clothing item that needs to be dry cleaned, good luck to you, because it's not gonna, our relationship is not gonna last long, I can guarantee you. Okay. Now, that's kind of frayed on the edges now. All the way around, I just used my little, whatever this is called. And just kind of tore up the edges. My scissors were cutting it a little too much. And I didn't want it to be like cut marks, looking like scissors cut it, okay? So there we have it. And this is not my idea. I saw another person do something similar to this. So I'm ripping this idea off entirely. But I think that's like the majority of crafting, you know? Ugh. I have hot glue stuck right here on my thing, and that's not gonna work for me. Okay, so now I have my little pennant. I cut it to about 5 by 7. And it is just a little bit bigger than that whenever it's a pennant. I'm going to go ahead and take my transfer, stick it right on. I'm not fuzzing it or anything. Okay. Just right there on my pennant. Just like that. Okay. Make sure that you get all the bubbles out of it. Now this is fabric, but I have no intention of washing this. So we're going to use paste. This is moss, okay? Really nice green. And again, this is the fabric that we're going to use on the embroidery hoop. So I figured I needed a nice green to use with this. And I think that this moss color is perfect. I'm going to do this entire design in moss. I'm not going to change colors. Of course, if you would like to change colors, you can. Whenever you comment the word Jolly, you will get the link to get the moss paste with this. But you can definitely grab yourself some extra paste too if you want to. There's plenty to choose from. Some reds, some really nice reds actually. And of course, black and white are always a staple. Every time I place an order, I always order black and white paste because I can never have too much. I run out of it so fast for both that I have to make sure I have it on hand, because if I run out of black or white paste, that is a terrible travesty. Okay. So my paste is on. I'm going to go ahead. And again, that was paste, okay? I'm not using ink because I'm not planning on washing this, okay? The paste will stay just fine, okay? There's my design. And I'm going to let that dry, and then we're going to come on over here. So what I did is I took a piece of fabric, and I just measured it around my little embroidery hoop, okay? And I don't know how this works, okay? Hi, Melissa. How are you, love? Welcome. Honestly, I have not a clue, okay, how you're supposed to put fabric on an embroidery hoop. But I assume that it's like this, okay? So I'm squeezing, or like pulling that through to try and get it as tight as possible. And, oh. I hope I'm turning this thing the right way, too. Let's see. Probably work better if I have it turned correctly. Okay, now, as I'm doing that, I'm going to try and pull it tight, because I want it to be tight and not loose, and it feels pretty loose still. So, I'm going to just tighten it a little bit at a time and make sure that it's nice and tight, okay? And it's snug in there so that both rings are snug together, okay? All right, so I think that's pretty good. Now, of course, I have all this excess, so I am going to trim that. I don't know how close I was supposed to trim it, but I was afraid it was going to be too short. And I don't know. Y'all can critique me if you want to. I have no idea what I'm doing here. Never used an embroidery hoop for the actual embroidery purpose. So there's a first time for everything though, right? Okay, I did buy these on Amazon in like a 6-pack or whatever. I knew I've used embroidery hoops for other crafts before, so I knew that I probably could find a use for it. Okay, so it's very not neat at the back. And I feel like you're probably supposed to fold that over. I don't know. I am going to put a couple of little dots of glue back here. on some of these pieces just to make sure. I don't think it's going anywhere, but you know, I'm not gonna glue all the way around, I don't think, because there's not enough fabric to stick all the way around, but I feel like if I get several pieces around it, that'll be good enough. Hi, Tammy. How are you? Welcome. Thank you, Melissa. I appreciate the confidence in me. Y'all, it has been a day, okay? Seriously. I have, well, a week already. I don't even know. Is today Wednesday? No clue. I don't have a single clue. Let me look. It is Wednesday today. It's been a busy week. I have a lot going on at work. And I feel like, so I think I told y'all that I started wearing reading glasses during the day. And that's a big struggle for me. It's a change from my normal, but I can read the words on the screen. And even on my phone better, which I didn't realize it was so blurry. Or that it wasn't supposed to be, I guess, blurry. I don't feel like my vision's always been like this, but as I'm getting older, it's getting worse for sure. And I had to finally today get up and walk around. Take Dozer outside, just get out of my office, because I would not have stood up probably if I hadn't done that. Okay, so that's really pretty so far. I love this paisley pattern. And you know, it's really funny. My taste has changed so much, so drastically in the past, like probably 4 years. I never, ever, ever would have done anything with a paisley pattern like this, probably 3 or 4 years ago. And it's my favorite pattern now, or one of them anyway. Okay, I'm tempted to actually cut out a little bit more of this. But I want it to be a strip, okay? And I also am kind of regretting not putting this, tucking the edges into the embroidery hoop. Especially since I added glue, but that's okay. So here's what I'm thinking that we're gonna do. I also have this giant piece of greenery that I think is too big now. My gosh. Okay, yeah, it's way too big. That's far too large, okay? I could probably trim it down a little bit and get to a reasonable size, but we'll see. Anywho, I'm losing my mind is what I feel like. Just every day, a little bit more, you know? And I've been so busy at work that I'm just like, ugh. At about 4 o'clock or 4:30, I've had it. And just cannot take any more. Which is, I guess, normal. I don't know. I like that actually a lot. Okay, so here's what I'm thinking. And in fact, I want to turn this so that I can kind of cover the hoop, the hanging hoop part. Okay, so I just want to attach this right to the embroidery hoop. And I'm tempted to even, no, I'm gonna do it in the middle. I don't know what I'm doing here, okay? I really don't. So I'm gonna just tack one little side over here so that I can see how it's gonna look. I don't wanna do too much glue underneath because I don't want it to be like lumpy, if that makes sense. And I don't think it needs a whole lot holding it on, okay? So I'm just gonna do a few little glue tacks around the edges. I seriously don't believe that this needs to be like glued a whole lot. Hi, Brownie. How are you, my friend? welcome. Thanks for joining me. I appreciate you. Okay, now okay, so I've got that attached. I just use hot glue, nothing fancy, no sewing. I don't sew for fun around here, that's for sure. I wish I did. My mom does, and if I had half of her sewing talent, I would probably, but. Okay, so I'm just gonna use the hot glue right on my little dilly right here and see if I can't get this to hold. Okay, right onto the fabric. Now, that's probably not the greatest idea I've ever had, but shoot, we'll make it work. Hi, Lori. How are you, love? Welcome. Thanks for joining me. So this super simple project is seriously nothing to it, okay? Get yourself an embroidery hoop. Go buy you a little fat quarter of different kinds of fabric. Seriously, it doesn't matter what the fabric print is. This paisley pattern is not really a Christmas pattern, but because it's red, I think it's just perfect. And I'm hoping that's gonna hold there. And then I did kind of cover up the little hoop thing on the side, the little, whatever it is. The thing that you use to tighten it. Although you definitely don't have to cover that up. A lot of people use them as decoration anyways with the little hoop dilly. That's a technical term, by the way. 3 hours at the dentist, my Lord. Paying for his kid's college, I see. Okay, so I got some strings going on here. Well, I hope everything's okay. I'm glad you still have all your teeth. Thank goodness for that. I'm gonna try and hopefully not have too much glue holding this on. Okay. But I did want to kind of at least get this glued at least partially to the wood, okay? Now, I could probably actually even glue it onto this metal piece, but y'all, super simple. What do you think about that? Seriously, super cheap, super simple project. Scraps of fabric would make this, okay? And you can do it too. Just comment the word Jolly, get the supply list, and click on that. You can check out and grab all the stuff yourself. All right, y'all. Well, I hope you have a great night. I love you all, and I mean that when I say it. So I hope to see you tomorrow night, okay? Good night.